Hello VC, another part 1, but there will be part 2 coming soon. Part 1 of the Blue Note 80th series. Very interesting. Is it audio file? Yeah, it's audio file. Just because they are not that high price doesn't mean that those aren't audiophile editions. You know, they are done by Kevin Gray whenever possible, and in most cases it has been possible so far. They use the original analog mastering tapes, and Kevin Gray won't say, oh look, it's an 80, so let's screw that one. He won't. And they are audiophile recordings, audiophile editions. The only thing is with the covers. Maybe we get into that later, but great that they put out more of these editions on such a beautiful quality. And we start with Art Blakey, Just Coolin. Yeah, I know, it's not the 80s series, but where shall I put it? I have no idea where to put that one, so I just put it in the 80s series, because if I see the cover, it's done by Kevin Gray from original master tape, so it's very near to the 80s series. It's a recording they did in Hackensack and said, no, we don't want to publish that. Don't know why, but now they did, and it's good. It's great that they did it. It's a gorgeous recording, a gorgeous crew. It's Lee Morgan on trumpet, Hank Mobley on tenor sax, Bobbi Timmons on piano, Jimmy Merritt on bass, Art Blakey on drums. Great that it's out now, and quite a thing. This is a 2020 release. So now for the first official 80s series record in that video, Lee Morgan, Rumproller. Here we go with Lee Morgan on trumpet, Joe Henderson on tenor sax, Ronnie Matthews on piano, Victor Strolls on bass, Billy Higgins on the drums. Recorded in 1962, stereo edition, 33 rounds per minute, nice cover, Lee Morgan. What is there more to say? Great recording, great audiophile edition. Sorry. So, Andrew Hill. This one is Smokestack. It's very new, very nice. The crew on this one is Andrew Hill on piano, Richard Davis on bass, Eddie Kahn on bass, and Roy Haynes on drums. Quite an interesting group of instruments. Very interesting. Great one. So this is so far one of the nicest cover in the 80s series. Kenny Dorham, Trompeta, Toccata. And you know, I have one problem with the 80s series. I think quite often, my God, this also could have been a tone poet, because then we got also, next to the beautiful mastering and beautiful editions, the beautiful covers with the session photos. Maybe we should all write an email to Don Was over at Blue Note, that they produce this 80s series covers like they produce the Blue Note, like the Tone Poet covers, and then we just buy the covers and exchange them. Maybe they do that. Very beautiful, very great, very good record. This is very interesting. Of course, it's a very interesting record, quite difficult. For me, in my opinion, it's a difficult listening. And it's out on Music Matters Jazz as a 45 round per minute edition. next to impossible to get. It's around 300 euros if you want to buy it. But it's out on Music Matters, and they start to come with editions on the 80s series. I don't think that they did that with the tone plates, but on the 80s series there are some editions which are also out on the Music Matters Jazz 45 round per minute editions, and this is one of them. As I said, quite a difficult listening. It's Joe Henderson on tenor sax, Steve Kuhn on piano, Steve Swallow on bass, Pete LaRocca on drums, and outstanding. Try that one, it's very interesting. Not easy. This one is one of the later Blue Note. They also get a very good treatment over in the 80s series. It's a double album, Brian Blade Fellowship, on 2 records, 33 round per minute. And I'm not 100% sure that this is an analog recording, because I don't know if it's produced analog. Maybe I have to get a deeper into it, but great that these series gives us the opportunity to go much deeper into the Blue Note catalog. The same goes for the Tone Poets, and that we get editions which are not done over and over and over again. So that's one of the great aspects of those two series, the 80s series and the Tone Poets series. Next one, Jutta Hipp. This has quite an interesting story, because Jutta Hipp was German and a German Jewish woman, and she emigrates to the United States, and she probably knows one of the founders from Blue Note, and they gave her the chance to do records over in the USA, and this is one of those records. I think they have never been reissued as an audiophile edition, so this is the first time that you can get this record in that quite good quality. The band is Jerry Lloyd on trumpet, Zoots Sims, great tenor sax player on tenor sax, Jutta Hipp plays the piano, Ahmed Abdul Malik on bass, Ed Thigpen on drums. Very, very early Blue Note. It's recorded, let me have a look please, give me a second. 1957. Very interesting and great that we get this record on such a beautiful way. Could have been a tone poet. And that sentence, that it could have been a tone poet, goes for this one too. One of the rarest and toughest to get Music Matters Jazz editions is now out on the 80s series, which is of course a good thing. Now we can have it back in a very, very, very good quality, but the cover, yeah, okay, it is as it better than before, of course. I don't know how much you have to pay for the Music Matters edition nowadays, so let's go with that one, and let's be happy that we can hear it in a Kevin Gray mastering quality, all analog. The records on the Tone Poet series are pressed by RTI over in the United States, and the 80 series actually is pressed here in Germany, but not on Pallas, but by Optimal. I think that's near Berlin, also quite a decent pressing plant. So if I buy my 80 series in the United States over at Acoustic, they pressed in Germany, goes to America and goes back to me in Germany. Strange, but that's the world we live in. So this is one of the main editions up to now, in my opinion, in the 80 series, and great to have that one back for everybody. to have it. That's quite a good thing. Last one for today, Bobbi Humphrey. Recorded in 1974, and it sounds like you expect from a 1974 Blue Note edition. It's funky, it's jazz funk. She also sings, she plays the flute, and I always like when there is a flute in a jazz record or on a jazz record. It's quite rare, and I really love it when the combination with jazz and flute. It's quite an uplifting experience to hear that record. Very swinging, very, very funky. It's a very, very nice record. So, that's the first round with the 80s series. Or like always, if you have suggestions, if you want to discuss things, write them down below. Hope you liked it. Thanks for your time. And I'll see you on my next installment, the next video. Thank you. Bye.